everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. I believe we're on to part, I don't know, is this part 4? Let's see, 50, 40. Yeah, this would be part 4 of my 50 lesser known horror movies you may or may not have seen yet, but I love them, so I'm going to recommend them to you. In every video I've made in this series, I've changed the name of it. So we'll all be surprised when we see what the name of it is. But, so I left off at number 21 with Orphan. So we're going to move on to 20, Black Christmas from 1974. And that replaces Splinter on my list. Black Christmas is said to be the first real slasher. Our introduction into the slasher world. It, came out in 1974. It predates, is that the right term? Halloween, Friday the 13th. People like to say A Nightmare on Elm Street when they name those movies, but I don't consider A Nightmare on Elm Street a slasher per se, because there's more. I mean, I know that slashers have a supernatural element and that these guys are hard to kill, but Nightmare on Elm Street has more of a supernatural element. So that's more supernatural horror with a slasher element than a slasher horror with a supernatural element. Anyway, so Black Christmas has some big names in it. Olivia Hussey, Andrea Martin, Margot Kidder. Okay, so it has a couple big names, and I think John Saxon is in it. And I saw this movie probably the first time in maybe 1990-ish time period, and it was really, I thought it was scary. Margot Kidder was kind of funny in it, and just eerie. You know, it takes place, it's around college students, and it's just, bad things start to happen. And, the twist in Black Christmas is the same twist from When a Stranger Calls before When a Stranger Calls happens. So there you go. So, so that was 20. And next is number 19. It's Alone in the Dark from 1982. It replaces Session 9 in that position. Alone in the Dark stars Donald Pleasance. I don't know if he stars in it, but there are a couple, I think I want to say Martin Landau, but it's basically these escapees from a mental asylum go around and just start doing bad things, and they got to gather them all back up. But it's just, I don't even remember it that well, but I remember it enough to know that I liked it. It was really a bizarre movie. Did I say it came out in 1982? It's from 1982, but seems like it would have been even sooner. It seems a lot more aged than that, but I guess 1982 that was a long time ago, wasn't it? I'm so old. Okay, so next is 18, Motel Hell from 1980, and that replaces Ginger Snaps in that position. Motel Hell is a weird, funny, not really well acted, gross, disturbing, scary movie. It's definitely interesting. When I saw Motel Hell, I saw that at the same time my dad rented Motel Hell and Mountaintop Motel Massacre. And up until that night, I'd never seen anything quite like Motel Hell. It's definitely different. You definitely get a different aspect of gardening, of sausage making, But, meat's meat. Man's got to eat, right? So, yeah, Motel Hell is number 18 position. And next is number 17, The Beast Within from 1982. And that replaces Alice, Sweet Alice in that position on my list. My friend had a crush on the teenage boy in The Beast Within. And he was cute, but he was the beast within, or there was a beast within him. This movie is really raw. Like, you're starting to kind of see an improvement on special effects makeup, but not really. Like a slight improvement from movies that came before it. But, you know, you can tell we're getting there. But, you know, effects aside, it's a good, scary watch. And yeah, it's the transformation is, it's definitely not as advanced as the transformation in American Werewolf in London. That, An American Werewolf in London, when I saw that, I had never, that's like some of the best special effects I had seen. And I believe they blended practical and visual effects together, when usually I'm a big fan of practical effects, and it was definitely practical effects in The Beast Within. I'm not completely turned off by computerized effects, but I do like to know that there was some kind of practical effects going on. And because Rick Baker worked on American Werewolf in London, they were definitely practical effects. Rick Baker, by the way, is one of my idols as far as special effects makeup goes. But anyway, I'll talk about American Werewolf in London some other time. But yeah, The Beast Within is, gosh, I want to say I was 14 when I saw it, maybe 13. But I didn't really think it was scary, but I do think it is required viewing for the horror fan, you know. So after that, number 16 is a movie called Popcorn from 1991, and that replaces Visiting Hours in that position. Popcorn is, I think it's kind of a slasher film. It's what I call theater horror. You know, I have a different, you know, there's theater horror, there's museum horror, there's woods horror, there's mountain horror, there's snow horror. That would be like The Shining. But Popcorn is, it's theater slasher horror. Yeah, so we've got, you know, a young girl, you know, you have your young innocent, your final girl, and then all her, you know, the people in it are, you know, getting offed. But I think that, again, I think that would be required viewing among a horror, you know, the horror fan. So number 15 is a movie called One Dark Night from 1982, and that replaces Repulsion in that position. One Dark Night has Meg Tilly, E.G. Daily, who, you know, is Pee-wee's girlfriend in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and she was also in, she's been in a lot of stuff. She was in Rob Zombie movies and stuff, but so Meg Tilly, E.G. Daily, William Shatner is in it, and this girl is being hazed, and she's locked in a mausoleum overnight, and it was just the wrong night to lock this girl in a mausoleum, so things go awry. And it's I just recently watched it again a couple weeks ago. I'm like, yeah. And it's bad, but it's good. You know what I mean? It's a good, bad movie. And next, number 14 is from 1986, and it's a movie called Killer Party, and it replaces Alone with Her. Killer Party opens with, it's like a drive-in theater kind of theme, and then her date turns into a monster, and then rock music starts, and then you realize it's a music video, and then it eases into the actual movie with these college students. And they just, you know, they have it's sorority girls trying to get, you know, pledging for a sorority, and, you know, ghosts and demons show up and make it nearly impossible for them to succeed. So yeah, that's Killer Party. And I had the hardest time finding that movie, and I still can't really find the full-length movie. I can find clips of it, but yeah, if you can find that movie, you should watch it. If you like fun 80s slasher, 80s demon haunting type things. And that would be like Night of the Demons, Bloody New Year, Killer Party. And speaking of Bloody New Year, that's number 13. And that came out in 1987. It replaces Near Dark in that position. Bloody New Year was an Australian movie that I just happened to rent at Blockbuster or something one day, and it's one thing about it is pretty much all the horror takes place during the day. And for me, there's something very unsettling about that, because it's not something at that point in time you saw a lot of in horror movies, like horror movies with ghosts and stuff. But, you know, that is definitely a little known movie, but I do highly, highly recommend that if you can find it. I think I just recently watched it on YouTube. I mean, I don't think I recently watched it. I definitely just recently watched it again, and I watched it on YouTube, I think. Never mind. Okay. And next is number 12. Speaking of Australian horror, it's a movie called The Contagion from 1987, and that replaces Joshua in that position. Now, I know when I say I like a horror movie called The Contagion, oh, with Gwyneth Paltrow and Matt Damon, and I'm like, no, not that one. It's from 1987. It's Australian. It's a ghost story. And I want you to quit saying it's that movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, because it's not. But yeah, there is a movie from 1987 called The Contagion. I have found clips of it on YouTube. I have been unable to find the entire film anywhere. And next on my list is The Midnight Hour. It was a TV movie, and it was part comedy, part horror, part musical. The dad from 8 is Enough is in it. It's a very wholesome Halloween time movie. And did I say it was a TV movie? It was a TV movie. It replaces Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. It came out in 1985, and I like it. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. Like, I think several people have posted it on YouTube, and it's just a wholesome Halloween movie. Some people may not even regard it as a horror movie. I do. It has vampire zombie corpses in it, so it has some werewolves, which I don't really understand why. And I'm sorry that you can see the ring light in my glasses, but we're almost done. And then that's it. That's it for that. So, Midnight Hour. So I will come back again with the last 10 videos or 10 movies on my list. And then there'll be another part that will list all the movies that were on the Shock Till You Drop version of this, and why I omitted them from my list. So, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.